Time now for The Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.
Welcome back, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt. Thank you for listening to the program today. Byron York is the chief political correspondent for the Washington Examiner, Fox News contributor like I am. Byron, how are you?
Hugh, I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good. I want to ruin your mood. I got some Cory Booker for you. Spartacus rose on the floor of the Senate, not within the last couple of hours, I think, and unleashed this tirade, which, Byron York, I'm going to ask you to analyze after you've heard it. Let's play cut number whatever it was.
The Democratic Party needs a wake-up call. I see law firms bending a knee to this president, not caring about the larger principles, that those free speech rights, that you could take on any client. Why are you bending the knee? I see universities that should be bastions of free speech bending at the knee to this president. I see businesses taking late-night talk show hosts off the air because they dare to insult a president. I see people who want mergers suddenly think that they have to pay tribute to this president. And what are the very people here elected to defend the Constitution of the United States saying, oh, well, today, let's look the other way and pass some resources that won't go to Connecticut, that won't go to Illinois, that won't go to New York, that will go to the states he likes. That is complicity with an authoritarian leader who is trashing our Constitution. It's time for Democrats to have a backbone. It's time for us to fight. It's time for us to draw lines. And when it comes to the safety of my state being denied these grants, that's why I'm standing here. Don't question my integrity. Don't question my motives. I'm standing for Jersey. I am standing for my police officers. I'm standing for the Constitution, and I'm standing for what's right. And dear God, if you want to come at me that way, you're going to have to take it up with me, because there's too much on the line.
So you're forewarned is forearmed. If you want to say anything negative, you got to take it up with Cory Booker. Spartacus, what do you think?
Well, first of all, we should know that Senator Booker wants to run for president. He wants to be president. He thinks this is the way to do it. And listening to this, I could not help thinking about the Wall Street Journal poll, which I'm sure you've discussed in the last few days.
Yep.
That showed Democrats at their lowest favorability rating in 35 years, well below Republicans and well below President Trump. And what was fascinating about that, this is one of these polls like, do you approve of the way Donald Trump is handling the economy or trade or foreign affairs, et cetera? And then, do you approve? Who do you trust more to handle the economy, trade, foreign affairs in Congress? And so they found that a lot of people did not approve of the way Trump was handling some of these issues, and those same people said they still trusted Republicans to handle them more than Democrats.
Yep.
So it's a party in deep trouble.
Do you know in that poll they only had 8%? Very enthusiastic about Democrats. 8%.
Well, that's who Senator Booker is talking to.
I guess he is.
And so, if you want to run for president, and you want to, you're a Democrat and you want to recover, I mean, there's a couple of ways you can go. There's the progressive fight lane, and that's what Senator Booker has chosen. But he's also got AOC. Bernie Sanders is not running for president, but he's sort of, I think, setting the tone for what those Democrats want to do. Or you can be one of the small, endangered minority of Democrats who think, we actually are kind of out of touch, and we need to fix things, and we need to handle issues better, and we need to stop screaming about Stephen Colbert.
Let me ask you, Byron, do you think it is persuasive to anyone to shout on an empty Senate floor? It's really like Grandpa Simpson shaking his hand at the clouds. Does it really mean anything?
Wasn't it years and years ago that the rule with C-SPAN on the Senate and House floor is that they wouldn't show the galleries, when or the whole Senate, the floor, when one senator was talking. And so a lot of times in the House you had members come up and make these impassioned speeches to an absolutely empty house, which meant, of course, they were doing it for TV, and they were hoping it would get shown back in their districts. And then there was one mischievous person who showed video of a member of the House screaming at an empty house, and now it's become kind of commonplace to see this. So, look, Senator Booker thinks this is the way it's gonna work. Now, this lane did not work. This progressive lane did not lead to the nomination in 2020. Remember,
it's the yelling lane too. It's not just the progressive lane; it's the yelling lane.
It is. Well, there is a strain of politician who believes that if you want to convey sincerity and belief, you need to yell. That if you just say something, people might not think you really believe it with all your heart. But if you yell it, then they'll know that you believe that. And in fact, people might look and say, well, that's kind of weird.
All right, Byron, you've been doing this a while, so have I. Are there any Clinton Democrats left? I mean, I know some, but they're not in office. So
any who are within, shouting distance of running for president of the United States, I'm not sure. And the party had to have that reckoning. The Democratic Party had to have that reckoning in 1992 because they had lost in 1980, they'd lost in 1984, and they'd lost in 1988. And there were still Democrats in 1992 who said it was a messaging problem, that they just needed better communications. And Bill Clinton and the Democratic Leadership Council, to their credit, said, no, it's more than that. Maybe we really are soft on crime. Maybe we really are soft on the Soviet Union, and we need to fix these things. Is there something like that in the Democratic Party today? I don't see it. It could be out there. They could have a person who turns out to be a great candidate, but I don't see it.
I sure hope one of them decides to try, because I think that lane's wide open. In the meantime, I hope the Republicans, because I am a Republican, begin to move a little bit to the center and talk about some things that might be, because it's just a wide open to take it all. Obama blew it. He did not go to the center. Biden did not go to the center. They had opportunities to do that, and they did not do that. Both of them went to the left. Byron York, always a pleasure. Follow him on X at Byron, Byron York. Easy to remember, easy to spell. Wonderful to follow, wonderful to read in the Washington Examiner or see on the Fox News channel. Thank you, Byron. I'll be right back, America. Stay tuned.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel. Stay informed anytime, anywhere with the Salem News Channel and 9:30 a.m. TheAnswer.com. This has been The Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.